The mountains of Tucson, Arizona. Nestled among them, two teams will compete for what could be a historic victory on December 30th in the Arizona Bowl, presented by Nova Home Loans. Welcome into the ASN studios alongside former Marshall and NFL running back Doug Chapman. I'm Monica McNutt, and this is the Arizona Bowl preview show. That game on December 30th will feature Air Force out of the Mountain West and South Alabama out of the Sun Belt.
And this is why they play the games, for the postseason. When I was in college, I couldn't wait to get to a bowl game. I expected to play in a bowl game every year. It means your team did really well. And you get a nice out-of-town trip to a town you likely have not been to. So fun times for the guys.
Well, let the trip to Tucson commence. Air Force, Troy Calhoun's Falcons. They are no stranger to bowl games. Air Force is playing in its 26th bowl game. They've earned 9 bowl bids in Coach Calhoun's 10 seasons and have been victorious 3 times in those matchups. As for the Jaguars of South Alabama, they are in just their 2nd bowl game in 4 years. Now keep in mind that their program is just shy of 5 years old as an FBS program. Joey Jones and his squad will be seeking their first program bowl victory in Tucson. Air Force played their last game November 25th. South Alabama, their last game was December 3rd. The bowl bid was announced on December 4th. So we're talking about 4 weeks without competition for the Jaguars and even longer for the Falcons. How do the coaches make sure that their teams are rested and ready to go? You
start to look at coaches' salaries. You ever looked at them before?
I've heard about
This
them.
is why they get paid the big bucks, because it's an art to preparing your squad for bowl games. You have to manage the guys' time off, know when to let them hit, when to take the pads off, how much conditioning they need, and also you got to factor in travel time and how to practice once you travel to the location. That's why these coaches get paid the big bucks. Now, if you look at it, Air Force has had more practice doing this. They expect to go to a bowl game at the end of the year. South Alabama, much younger program, just actually was established in 2009, new to the FBS level, but they're a little more new to it. Air Force has the experience. Coach Calhoun and company, as you see there, he's done this.
We take a look at those resumes. You mentioned it. Troy Calhoun has done it before, and the Air Force graduate, class of '89, has been at the helm of that program for a decade. 76 and 53 overall. Shout out to him. And then on the opposite end, Coach Joey Jones for the Jags. He started the season with a big bang, the 21-20 victory over Mississippi State, and now they hope to finish with a bang. Keep in mind that they lost 4 games by a touchdown or less, and one of those included an overtime contest. All right, now there's a big difference between taking the reins of an established program and then having to go out and get the carriage, the horse, and go get the reins of a program that is not established. Does that matter at this point when you look at Jones and Calhoun?
It can to a certain extent, and here's how it can matter. When players go to colleges that are expected to have success and go to bowl games, they feel the pressure of having to carry that on. So if you walk into Air Force, you know it's been done before. Fisher DeBerry, the Hall of Fame coach who was there before Coach Calhoun, coached me actually in the Hula Bowl in Maui, an all-star game after I left Marshall. Got it started. Coach Calhoun picked up the reins and kept the tradition going. On the other side, South Alabama, they're a younger program, so the tradition's not there. But once you put the pads on, Monica, and the guys take the field, all that tradition goes out the window. You get smacked in the face.
Right.
Don't nobody worry about no tradition right there. You're trying to play football.
No, you're not wondering how old your program
Not
is
at all.
at that point? Okay, senior running back JACOBI Owens, he moved into 4th place on the career rushing list at the Academy. He's just the 11th Falcon in school history to go over the 2,000-yard career mark. He was a Doak Walker and Maxwell Award candidate. Now, Owens knows on offense, the Falcons have to stay locked in on themselves.
Offensively, always worried about what we're doing. And that's how we practice. You know, we practice against different fronts, and we make sure that we have, you know, these certain players for these different fronts. So when it comes to the game, they could throw anything at us, and we'll just snap into what we know that works. And that's honestly how we do. It's all about us, not necessarily who we're playing.
On the other side, Jaguars senior defensive end Randy Allen has 11.5 sacks on the season and 18.5 tackles for loss. He had a stellar game to close out the regular season with a 3-sack performance for 21 yards loss in that game. So he was all over the place. Now, when you look at it, Air Force is averaging 322 rushing yards a game. The Jags are averaging more passing yards than the Falcons at 243. Contrasting styles, who do you think has the advantage?
I think that Air Force has the advantage because we've seen what they do work consistently. They're going to run the ball, run it, and run it some more from the quarterback position, the 2 B backs, the A backs. But then you look on the other side, you see Randy Allen. in that defense, you see the amount of sacks that he had. These are against teams that are traditional drop-back teams. So they're not used to seeing the offensive attack what Air Force had. You see him giving the ball in the A-gap there, and you look at the difference here. This is a depth run. You see Pumphrey, they're getting the ball from depth. They're not going to see a lot of that with Air Force. Air Force is going to hide the ball a lot, get on the perimeter. Quarterback's going to keep it, give it to the fullback. It's going to be how long it takes South Alabama to adjust to what they're doing up front offensively in that run game, because if you make one bad read, you're out of position, one guy's not on the right upfield shoulder, it turns into a run like this, touchdown. And Air Force gets big chunk plays, and then they suck you in with the run and throw the ball over your head.
Sports and life is all about adjustments. Senior safety Weston Steelhammer, he ranks 6th nationally with 6 interceptions this season. On his career, his 17 interceptions make him the NCAA's active leader in picks. He's tied for first in the school's record books in that category. Now, bear in mind, he also leads his team in tackles with 75 on the year, 219 in his career, which make him Air Force's career active leader in that category as well. It's safe to say that he's on the prowl defensively in the secondary. How will Coach Jones have to adjust his strategy to deal with that?
Well, first of all, is there a more perfect name for a defensive player than Weston Steelhammer?
That's such a great name.
I mean, he was born to play defense, but he's a ball hawk. The problem with me, though, is Air Force's offense, for their last 5 games, they gave up over 300 yards passing. While he's a ball hawk and he comes up and plays the run very well, they've had issues as a unit stopping the pass. You see here, Navy able to get some deep balls. He's able to come up with interceptions, but overall, they have not played the pass very well. Looking at South Alabama, wide receiver Josh McGee and tight end Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett will be playing in the NFL next year, ladies and gentlemen. They're very good players. They're going to have to make it one-on-one matchups and see if they can create mismatches there. Steelhammer, try to get him aggressive, get some passes over his head, but that's how South Alabama's got to pick up chunk plays.
So if that's the case, Steelhammer's fantastic. Overall secondary, maybe not so spectacular. How can South Alabama take advantage of that?
Chunk plays. Dallas Davis has got to be on point. I want to see him play the way that he played week 1 when they came out and got that win on the road at Mississippi State versus the way he played against a nickel state where he threw 4 interceptions. He's thrown for more interceptions than he has touchdowns, but if he's consistent, they run the ball well on first down, don't put him in a lot of third down and long, and they're able to convert third downs, they'll be fine. They have to take advantage of the one-on-one matchup. They have good athletes out there between Everett and McGee. They've got to take advantage of those matchups.
All right. Well, coming up, we're not done at all. We're going to hear from Jaguars head coach Joey Jones on the focus and the preparation that's required as his squad gets ready for the program's 2nd ever bowl game. Both teams will feature sophomore quarterbacks who are making their first starts in bowl games. Will there be nerves to overcome? How big of a factor is experience? We're going to get into all of that after the break. And the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl, brought to you by Nova Home Loans between Air Force and South Alabama. Friday, December 30th.
There's a way to do things and a way you approach a bowl game, but we're going out there to win the bowl game, first and foremost. And yeah, we're going to have some great dinners. Yeah, we're going to have some sightseeing and all that kind of stuff. And that's great, a great experience. But we got to get them to understand when it's time for business out there, when we do get away from those events, we got to be ready to practice and ready for meetings, be able to handle that kind of stuff.
Coaches hate distractions, hate them.
Jaguars head coach Joey Jones there. Now, obviously, it's a bowl game, so there will be plenty of events surrounding it for the fans, players, families related to the program. Distractions can be a concern. How much of a concern are they for a young program like South Alabama?
It's not necessarily the youth of the program. It's the youth in the program. If you have young players at key positions, that could be an issue when you take a team on the road for a bowl game, especially if the guys have never been on one. When I was a sophomore at Marshall and we went to play Ole Miss in the Motor City Bowl, our seniors and our team captains made sure that the younger guys were always accounted for. They made sure we were at meetings on time. We were at practice on time. There weren't any distractions, because you get a distraction at a bowl game, you get sent home. So when you watch the bottom of the screen during bowl season and you see guys get sent home for no reason, it's probably because they did something wrong on the bowl trip that the coach didn't want them doing.
You were never guilty of such an offense?
Oh, no, ma'am. You don't become the MVP by getting sent home, Monica McNutt.
Fair enough, Doug Chapman. All right, a win in the bowl game would be a big deal for the Falcons, but not just because it's a bowl victory. It would also capture the elusive 10-win season.
I mean, I think we're all excited for it. We're excited for the opportunity to get 10 wins. I know we're not overlooking anybody that we play. We got a good opponent, and they've had some big wins. So
we definitely got to stay focused, and it's another opportunity for these seniors to get on the field one more time, and I don't think anybody has any issues with that.
South Alabama is somebody that we can't take lightly. 2 wins against San Diego State 2 years in a row, and San Diego State has been the conference champion 2 years in a row, and they also beat Mississippi State the first game of the season. So it's looking like we got to buckle down and actually take them seriously.
I mean, if you look how many teams have the opportunity to win 10 games this year, I mean, I think it's a number somewhere under 30. So to be in that elite company is pretty special, and anytime you have the opportunity, you definitely don't want to let it go to waste.
It'll be the 4th time in Air Force football history that we get 10 wins, so it's pretty big, and I think it would mean a lot, in terms of the class of 2017 for our legacy to have this 10th win season.
Luke is right. In fact, 16 teams have won 10 games already this season. 14 have a chance to win 10 with a bowl victory. Now, as far as this goes for this Falcon squad, for the senior class, this bowl would also be their rubber match. They're 1-1 in bowl games so far, as well as that 10th game or 10th win that they've talked about. So how much of a factor is their experience in this bowl game?
It's a factor because you're taking guys on the road and they have older guys to listen to and say, hey, man, this is how you do it when you go on a bowl trip. Your coach has experience taking a team on the road in a bowl trip. But you see, South Alabama, we talked about it, the youth of their program, like we talked about earlier, Monica, they don't have that tradition there. So you hope that they have leaders. You saw Dallas Davis throwing the ball. You see offensive players like McGee and Everett. You hope that those guys are going to step up and be leaders. And what they lack in actual experience in going to bowl games, they bring it off the field, keep everybody focused, because Air Force is going to be focused in this one. They're going to travel well, and Coach Calhoun is going to have his team ready to play.
All right, so for as much experience as the seniors bring, for Air Force, their quarterback, ARION Worthman, is just a sophomore, and he is the backup after Romine went down with an injury. Worthman has started 4 games. He's gotten 4 wins. But is his lack of experience on the season a concern?
I'm not overly concerned with his lack of experience because in this type of offense, I hate to say it, but it's a plug-and-play type offense. All these kids were recruited to play in this system. They know what they're doing. He's practiced backing up Nate Romine, and he's done great since taking over. Rushed for over 100 yards in 3 of his last 5 games. He's thrown for over 100 yards in that span. My main concern, though, with Worthman is making the proper read. Ball handling. He doesn't have the in-game experience as Romine, so that's going to be the big difference.
For the Jags, it's sophomore quarterback Dallas Davis. Now, he started all season, but it is his first start in a bowl game, and he is a sophomore. What are the concerns there?
His inconsistency. Will he be the Dallas Davis against Mississippi State throwing for 285 and 2 touchdowns and a victory, or will he be the Dallas Davis that played against Nichols where he tossed 4 picks? They won the game, but you can't toss 4 picks against Air Force and win a football game. Which one is going to show up? He brings a dual threat dimension. You see him now, he can pull it down and run. But I want to make sure he sits in the pocket, goes through his reads, they protect him properly up front, and he does the right thing. We see the early season Dallas Davis versus the one that can be a little interception prone.
December 30th, we will all find out which Davis shows up. Coming up, we get a look at the day in the life of an Air Force cadet. It's a service academy, so their day is no joke. I talked too soon, I'm sorry. I thought it was all the same thing, my bad. Okay, that's what I think I saw, that sounds right, thank you. The matchup is set for the Arizona Bowl presented by Nova Home Loans. 5:30, December 30th in Tucson, Arizona from Arizona Stadium. The South Alabama Jaguars of the Sun Belt and the Air Force Falcons of the Mountain West. Welcome back. Very few, if any, college students are willingly up at 6:30 in the morning. But the cadets at Air Force are. And yes, that includes the young men on the Air Force football team. One of their classmates takes us through her day in Colorado Springs.
My name is Angela Marie Villarreal. I've been here about 2 years. It did seem a little hard in the beginning, and I knew there'd be challenges, but that's part of the reason I wanted to come here, is because of the challenges. So I wake up at 6:30 in the morning, go to breakfast, which starts at 7. From there, I have class from 08:30 to 11:30. Today I had electrical engineering and law, then biology. 11:35 is formation, lunch is at 12. I have my unarmed combatives class at 13:45 to 1500. Falconry practice at 15:45 to about 1700, 1730. So this right here is a falconry team patch. The falcon is the official mascot of the Air Force Academy, and I'm really proud to be on the team. It's a cadet-run program. You can get on the team if you're good at public speaking, decent with the crowd, decent with the birds, and good with the team. Falconry is my fun part of the day. After that, I'll go to dinner with a few friends, and from there I study all night, do my homework until taps, or sometimes midnight, depending on the load. It's a full day. The best thing about this place is the opportunities that come with it. I've done so many things since I've been here. I've jumped out of planes, I've worked with live birds of prey. My choice of coming to the Air Force Academy will definitely affect the rest of my life.
I saw you nodding your head there. Impressive.
I hope people really understand the commitment that not just the student athletes make, but these students to go to these military academies, that they have to apply. It's not easy. And you're asking 18, 19-year-old kids to do that. My hat goes off to these guys.
I just want to master the part where she's able to get ready for her day in 30 minutes.
I want to master the part where you wake up at 6:30 a.m.
Exactly.
That's what I want to master.
Truth be told, tell the truth. Okay, okie dokie, a wonderful story. Shout out to all those students at Air Force. Coming up next, Air Force in South Alabama will be competing for a victory on the field, but everyone goes home with a swag bag. We get a sneak peek at goodies galore. Friday, December 30th, Air Force will be looking for its 4th bowl victory under Coach Troy Calhoun, and South Alabama will be looking for its program's first bowl win. It's the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl. We are pumped to welcome into the program the Executive Director for the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl, Mike Fader. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Monica. Thanks for having me.
We're pumped to chat with you. Now, when you came on board in May, you already pointed out that last year, this bowl event had a fantastic and impactful first year. What have you done to make this year's experience even more successful?
Well, it's not really what I've done, it's what we've done. Last year, we pretty much had a little over 2 months to put this game together. And as far as the community standpoint and the game production that ASN did, everything really went well. So now we have to build on it. What my job is almost to be the ringleader, to get people going in a different direction. And everybody does their job so well. We'll talk later about a program that we have called the Heroes Program, that we've got community leaders and people underwriting the cost of tickets for the military, veterans, teachers, first responders, and underprivileged children. That program has really done well, especially with Air Force being in the game.
Wow, Mike, that sounds like a fantastic program, which sort of gets me into my first question as regarding the experience. What can the fans look forward to?
A great time in a great stadium in a great city. There's not enough greats to go around, I guess. But Arizona Stadium is the home of the Arizona Wildcats, so it's a very good facility, super video board. But it's not just a game. It's the whole experience, all the things that surround the game. The day before the game on December 29th, we have a downtown block party. The downtown block party will have the school bands. We have local entertainment, a Ferris wheel, carnival games. We're blocking off streets. That will go on from 3 to 8 o'clock. And our downtown area is revitalized, and people are really going to enjoy that. So that's Thursday. Friday, we've got our tailgate festival presented by Desert Diamond Casino. That's a lot of things as well. And all of this, we invite people to go to NovaArizonaBowl.com. That's our website.
You are oozing enthusiasm. I'm excited to get to Tucson. I know the teams are excited to get there. We're all looking forward to it on December 30th.
Okay, here's a big question. Did you have any Mexican food when you came down here?
The last time we did have a little bit of Mexican, but I'm going to follow your lead this time to make sure that you send me to the best Mexican in the area.
El Charro. Remember El Charro.
Gotcha.
It's It's from a family-owned Mexican restaurant. It's the longest and oldest relationship of anywhere in the United States.
All right.
And it's off the charts. I mean, so we are what gastronomy capital in the world. We've been voted that by this organization in Switzerland. So people love our food in Tucson.
All right, well, we're going to check out the food and hopefully a fantastic bowl game. Mike, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in Tucson.
Thanks, Monica. Thanks for including us and being a part of our great game.
El Charro, make sure you hit that.
I'm hungry. It's going to be delicious. Okay, the swag bag that we teased you about. Look at these goodies, Doug.
Yeah, that's your nickname in college right there, Big Lazy. The red.
Wow.
How do you travel with that thing?
We had
though?
such a good show, and now you insult me. I'm checking out the Beats by Dre, the Power Beats. Those are the headphones that are designed for you to get your workout on.
I'm curious about these no sweat specialty socks. I want to check these bad boys out. You get a nice little backpack from OGO. It's a nice little package there.
Okay, as we put a bow on this thing, final thoughts. I'm not asking you to pick a winner, but what are you expecting out of this game?
We both will be there. What I'm looking for is, can Air Force come out and establish the run like they usually do and not be stopped? And can South Alabama eliminate the turnovers? Dallas Davis come out and manipulate that secondary that's been burned? That's going to be the keys to the game. If Air Force can run the rock like they usually do, it's going to be a long day for South Alabama. If Dallas Davis plays well, that secondary for Air Force can be exposed. Should be interesting.
I'm excited. It should be a good game. We will be in Tucson. He's Doug Chapman. I'm Monica McNutt. December 30th, 5:30, right here on the American Sports Network. Catch the Arizona Bowl.